Good afternoon. So I'm sharing a basic brief notes with some videos of life process. Okay. So as you all know, we are heterotrophs, plants are autotrophs. These all are clear, right? Autotrophs we know, heterotrophs we know. What are herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous, saprophytes? We even know that plants, there are certain plants which are parasites like cuscuta. There are some plants which can eat insects like, okay, they are called insectivorous plants. Autotrophs, heterotrophs difference we know. Here comes one more plant parasite. Rafflesia is a root parasite. Okay, then just taking a basic test on this. So just check these questions. Plants are dash, which dash, this and this. We need to fill up the blanks, okay, which is easy. The organisms which can manufacture, आपको पता है अच्छी तरह से, please. You can see this also easy. Chlorophyll is present, आपको पता है, and use the information. You know this, right? So just try this. Next है autotrophic nutrition in plants. ये भी हमें पता है. We know that some uses sunlight for making food, some uses chemical energy also. We know the raw materials discussed, so I'm not using this video. Xylem, phloem, we know. Stomata, we know. Now look at this theory behind stomatal opening and closing. There are two theories they are explaining. One is sugar concentration theory. Occurs during daytime, sugar produced increases the osmotic pressure, guard cells turzid or full jata hai. Occurs when water content of the leaf falls short, closing, okay. Water is drawn out of guard cells, we know exosmosis, inner thick walls straighten to close. Similarly, potassium ion concentration theory. Potassium is synthesized in the daytime. So for that, it draws more water from the adjacent cell. When it draws water, the guard cells will become turzid and bulge out. In the night time, it leaks out. Turgor pressure of the guard cells decreases and hence they straighten and close. And there's our video. Check this.
Do you recognize this figure? Well, it represents stomata, which are tiny pores present mainly on the surface of leaves. As you can see on the screen, the opening of stomata is surrounded by two distinct epidermal cells known as guard cells.
You all know this.
The opposing inner walls of the guard cells are thick and inelastic, while the remaining walls are thin and elastic. Now the next question is, how do plants control the opening and closing of stomata?
Yeah, be careful.
This function is carried out by the creation of an osmotic pressure difference. Now what is that? Let me explain. When water enters the guard cells, the outer walls of the cells expand outward because they are thin and elastic. Now because of this, a pore is created between them, and this leads to the opening of the stomata. On the other hand, when the guard cells lose water, they shrink, thereby closing the stomatal pore.
So this is the
Do you
basic
recognize this figure?
idea about opening and closing of stomata, right? Now basic idea about photosynthesis. One is called photochemical phase. Photochemical means utilization of light energy as a catalyst. And this is taking place in chloroplast, we all know, but exactly where it is in thylakoids. And what are the events happen during the photosynthesis? This is one of the questions usually asked in NCERT, okay, CBSE. So we all know absorption of light energy by chlorophyll, then breaking of water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, and finally formation of ATP and NADPH2, nicotine adenosine diphosphate. Okay, these are energy molecules. ATP, you all know that. CSC and some extra knowledge, you can read this, some interesting facts about photosynthesis. And you all know global warming को अगर घटाना है तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को एब्जॉर्ब कराना और एब्जॉर्ब कराने के लिए आपको प्लांट्स लगाना है. इसी पे छोटा सा टेस्ट देखते हैं. पहला क्वेश्चन आपको बड़ी आसानी से दिख रहा है. Plants use CO2 and this. Plants prepare food in the form of, you all know, in a certain experiment, a potted plant was kept, this, and after spun, you can see that. What is the location of chloroplast in leaf? And this one, right? Sometimes activity-based question come, which I've already shared in the previous notes, that sunlight is essential for photosynthesis, so by an activity. This is given in your NCERT book also. You must know. Chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis. Please show by an activity. What is variegated plant, which has both green and non-green areas. Carbon dioxide is essential for photosynthesis. के लिए हम एक के अंदर KOH लेते हैं. KOH has the capability to trap carbon dioxide. Trapping हो जाएगा तो carbon dioxide share हो जाएगा. इसमें कोई sharing नहीं होगा. यहाँ germination अच्छा दिखेगा. Now let's take a brief test again. Read the question properly. Okay. This is definitely going to enhance the knowledge of the topic more. We have discussed this elementary Kala in a very, very detailed way. Then also you can go through this. I have already shared the notes, diagrams, but then also, you know this, you must be knowing the dental formula and all, like it's coming in scissors, canines, premolars, molars. If anybody asks you what is the dental formula for milk teeth, it is 2120. Okay. Molars are not there in milk teeth. Permanent 2123. That is 2 incisors, 1 canine, 2 premolars, and 3 molars. Okay, the teeth structure and all are not in the syllabus, so nothing to worry for that. Now, when we will be doing acid, bases, and salts, then also you'll come to know that how can you protect your teeth. You must have noticed, आपने देखा है कि normally we brush in the morning, okay, for preventing that foul smell, bad smell, etc. But in a scientific point of view, after every meal you must brush your teeth because that paste contains, you can say, base. If you have a sugar present in your teeth sides, it may lead to the growth of bacteria, which may release acid and can damage the most hardest substance of our body called tooth enamel. To prevent that, it is advisable. That is what they are guiding. Okay. We all know that our tongue has got different reasons, right? Now, salivary glands, we know the functions of salivary gland and how does they work.
In buccal cavity, we have glands which are known as salivary glands. And as the name suggests, they secrete saliva. Now, why is this saliva important? We eat a number of food items which have fat or starch. Now, there are enzymes present in the saliva that help in the breakdown of these fats or the digestion of starch. Let's do a small activity to understand the action of saliva on food. Ready? For that, we need to take 2 test tubes. And let's
You all know that if it is a carbohydrate and if it is an iodine solution, the blue-black color changes, okay? So the blue-black color of the iodine solution, then it is a carbo.
Label them as A and B. Now in test tube A, we add a teaspoonful of boiled rice. Very easy to get. Now in test tube B, we add a teaspoonful of boiled rice, but rice that has been chewed for 3 to 5 minutes. Not a very pleasant thing to do, but do it. Now add 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution to both the test tube. What do you see? You will see that the test tube A shows a blue-black color. On the other hand, there is no color change in test tube B. Now, why did that happen? That happened because the starch present in the chewed rice was actually broken down into simple sugar
by the action of our,
because of saliva. Remember, it was a chewed rice. This means that the rice in test tube B did not have any starch in it. And because it did not have any starch, when we added iodine solution, there was no change in color.
Yes. Now you know that pharynx is there, okay? It is a common passageway, ये सब अपने बात कर रखा था, right? The food pipe or the esophagus. Saliva contains enzyme salivary amylase, that is part of the syllabus. Another example, lysozyme and electrolytes. It is helping in the starch digestion up to 30%, starch into initially maltose. The two of the basic functions performed by our mouth buccal cavity are mastication of food, chewing, and facilitation of swelling. From buccal cavity, food reaches the stomach, and that movement which is happening from the mouth to the anus is called peristaltic movement, we all know. What happens when the food goes down the trachea? If the food goes down to the windpipe, it is very difficult to breathe, and we say hiccup aa gaya, hitchki. Our trachea and esophagus are very nearly joined near the top and separate as we go down. A thin flap of cartilage called epiglottis covers the trachea. If that glottis covering has been in any way not been there, it will be very difficult, right? So that's why the food does not move inside. That's why it is always advisable to have food at the time. Don't talk much. However, in certain cases like swelling too fast, talking or not chewing, this may cause airways to get partially blocked, which is called choking. Hindi mein usko hitchki kehte hain. Stomach, we all know digestion in stomach where proteins is break down into proteases and peptides. Renin is also one of the example of a protein. Stomach ka function we all know, but go through this. The food is moving in a semi-solid form chyme to small intestine. Sphincter muscles is helping this. Small intestine के 3 जोन है आपको पता है, duodenum, jejunum and ileum. This is the place where complete digestion होने वाला है. जैसे आपको यहाँ नहीं दिखे तो मैं रीड कर देता हूँ कि जो pancreatic juice है that is going to release the enzyme trypsin. Basically proteins breakdown होता है. Fats is breakdown into fatty acids by the help of lipase. Starch, that is carbohydrate, is going to break down into definitely the end point, as you can see at this, with the help of amylase. So there are two amylase. One is salivary amylase and one is pancreatic amylase. You're definitely going to get the question, what is the difference between the two? Function of liver, function of pancreas, we all know. This is for your knowledge. Assimilation process, large intestine, villi all becoming. Okay. On the basis of this, we're sharing some questions. You can see the first one. Second one, labeling the structure that secretes digestive juices are labeled as this. Right. So we'll be sharing the next video, the next topic of the remaining chapter. Wait for that. Go through this properly. It will definitely going to help us to understand the topic. Okay.